Donna. I finally managed to hear it, but we're back. You're listening to IBGR.network. IBGR is a call sign as a radio station. We're more than a radio station. We are a network. And I'm your host, Jan Robberts, Global Influencer. Now, this is episode 11 already. We're near the end of season 3. Who would have believed that? You can go to our website, www.ibgr.network, and then download our show notes, which Donna put up this morning already, even though I was quite late with my show notes because I was traveling the last 2 days to South Africa again. But they're on there, and thank you, Donna, for all your help, and you reminded just now as well. But as I was preparing for my show this week, I could not help but think back on something I delivered several talks on during the last few months. Intentional leadership and intentional living. But I could also add to that intentional business, because there is one thing that stands at the top of the list, and that is the need to be intentional. Now, I mentioned this last week already, very briefly, but there is so much I could say about being intentional. And I need to mention something here, because if I ask each one of you, have you had good intentions? Of course, everybody has good intentions, me included. But are you intentional? Now, that's a different ball game altogether. Are you living an intentional life? And if you live an intentional life, business, sports, any free time, everything, that doesn't mean that you can't be spontaneous, but when you live intentionally, you get more done in a shorter period of time when you need to get it done. I hope that makes sense. And it's we all know that the road with intention, the road with intention is paved in gold. But the good intentions, here's the difference. People with good intentions do something good occasionally. But people who live an intentional life do something good continually. Now, I hope that makes some sense. And you need to do something good continually, especially if you're starting your entrepreneurial business, and the further you get into it, the more intentional you need to become, because you've got so many more things to do. At first you'll think about an idea, and then as it's developed, there's more things to start to think about: your research, your marketing, your sales, your advertising, your branding. All these kind of things start to come in. So you need to be intentional, otherwise you get lost in the mist, and you will have missed it. Okay, I know, can't help it. But when you are intentional, and when you set your goals, when you actually every day decide, these are the kind of things I need to do today, use the 80-20 rule if necessary. These are the kind of things I need to do today, and these are the most important ones, because do the most important ones first. I love it with my partner Arthi Moore, who achieves so much more than most people I know, because she is intentional in everything. She sets up vision, she sets her goals, she follows through first thing in the morning already, and she actually really gets into that intentional living and visualizing what she wants to do as well. And Arthi achieves what she sets out to do, and that's not by accident. That is by doing things when they should be done every single day. And Arthi will talk into that as well, because she's amazing at this, but she is a master at this. And I just had to mention that. And also a master at relationship building, of course, as well. Now, setting intentions for collaboration, partnerships, mutual beneficial opportunities, building long-term relationships through follow-up. You need to follow up properly, and that relationship building I talked about already. You need to do that intentionally. Don't just let it happen and all of a sudden you lift a business card. Oh yes, 3 weeks ago. No, not. Don't leave it. Don't think, I can't. If you build proper relationships, you can connect with people at any time. And that doesn't mean that you've got to pester them. No, not at all. But start connecting. Hey, I heard that your son is hoping to get into university. How did he get on? Or I hope you heard your wife wasn't well. How is she doing? Building relationships. It's about personal relationships. The rest will come. Remember? The VCP, visibility, credibility, profitability. The profitability is at the back, but it will come if you do the visibility, and that's the visibility is about building relationship, because people will know that you know and care about them, and that's when you build relationships, and that's when things happen. Now, the need for intentional personal development is huge. What does your daily growth plan look like? Hello? What? Yes, exactly. A daily growth plan. If you haven't got a daily growth plan, you need to get one, and it should cover your mental, spiritual, and physical development. Because if you leave that alone, if you leave it to chance, you are again going nowhere. Because I talked about leadership. You need to lead yourself first, and self-leadership comes from this personal development. I talked about leadership as influence, which is also about relationships, about listening, about all those kind of skills and values we need to internalize and learn and practice every single day. There's a lot to it, I know that, but you don't need to stand 2 hours on a treadmill every single day. No, do something every day to improve yourself, because the only guarantee that tomorrow will be better, I said this before, is if you do something about yourself to be better today. And if you don't do nothing today, if you don't do nothing, that means you do everything. If you don't do anything today to improve yourself, what can you expect of tomorrow? Why would you even need tomorrow if you don't do anything different today? You might as well live it over again tomorrow, because you've done nothing today to improve. I hope that makes sense. Your goals. Goal setting is very important as well. And also, how do you know yourself? It is very important that you know yourself. I talked about this already. Go and do a profiling. I'm a behavior analysis consultant and trainer as well. And I see it so often, the insights people get about themselves, about their family life, about their children, their spouse, the better connections even at home they build, and they cement them, as Artie, thoughtfulness, integrity, and meaningful connections with other Artie mentions there. But yeah, those relationships we build with each other because we get to know ourselves. You can't give what you haven't got, so you need to get to know yourself first. Know thyself. There's a book about this as well. But, do a personal profiling. I do DISC, but it doesn't matter whether you do a DISC profiling or any other ones, and then get a follow-up as well. Get somebody to work through it with you, because we have 30 pages of information that comes to you, and then I also normally do a 45-minute debrief with them to find out, to get people to understand it much more meaningfully for themselves. But it is important. So practice the 3 Ps. I said, the prompt, proactive, and be patient. Be prompt, don't delay. Start today. That Nike motto, do it now. We all know procrastination kills your business. Be proactive, do not let things happen, make them happen. Be patient. Not everything happens when you want it to. They say Rome wasn't built in one day. And people say, yeah, but they've got much better machinery now. You get the message. And, I briefly mentioned the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. 80% of your money comes from 20% of your work. 80% of your progress comes from 20% of what you do. 80% of anything that happens comes from the 20% of the goals you set. I mean, it is fascinating if you study the Pareto principle. 80% of the people travel on 20% of the roads. Apart from childbirth, nearly everything has an 80-20 principle. But look into it and start using it. It's amazing. If you have 10 goals in a day, put the top, and you put them in order of importance. If you do the top 2 every day, 80-20, then you actually achieve more than most people will ever achieve in a lifetime, just by doing that. That's how important it is. Use authentic yet professional voice in communication. That doesn't mean you need to talk like Sean Connery or something like that. That's not the professional voice I'm looking for, Mesh Money Penny. No, it actually means that you don't use slang words. Some dialects and have slang words that other people don't understand, especially if they have a foreign language as their second language. So we speak in English, and if your language is Dutch or Afrikaans or Zulu or French or whatever, slang words might not be known. So to be professional, so you're understood. And you understand the other people as well. I hope that makes sense. Then, be a resource. Provide valuable content. So I went through that already, but I'm just reiterating again the kind of things you need to do to build those relationships. Start and engage in meaningful conversations. The importance of building relationships is now very obvious, I hope. Relationships with every single person around you. No exceptions. Because you never know where your next business deal can come from. It might not be right now, and if people don't want to do business with you just now, that means not never, but it has a better chance of happening, or getting a referral because you build relationships. If you don't build a relationship, that referral will never come, because know, like, and trust. I know you got that now. But the best way to build relationships is by asking questions and then listening properly to the answers. Be interested before being interesting. And then demonstrate gratitude. Be thankful is not just a nice to have. Start a gratitude journal and write 5 things in there every day that you are grateful for. And that is very powerful. Believe me, it's very powerful to be grateful. Now, I'm blessed and highly favored. I start with that every morning because I am, to wake up, to get to do it all over again. So, know when to go, let go, and know when to move on. Don't beat yourself up, but you know when it's time to move on. That was those 7 points. Now, I'm near the end already, but you need to also get the importance of getting a coach or a mentor. And that's this platform is full of coaching and mentorship tips and tools, and you need to be on this platform. You need to bring other people to this platform because it's very important. Thank you, Donna, for the 2-minute warning. I see it flashing past. See, brilliant. But you need to start realizing that even if you are a coach, I have a coach. I am a coach as well. But even if you are, but get a coach, get a mentor, get help. Don't wait too long to ask for help. There's plenty of people, and on this platform as well, and as I said, we're also connected with QBMO, but there's also kind of many experts from this platform that also go in there to offer help to you as the entrepreneur, the business owner, you on your precarious journey to make it less precarious and more successful. IBGR.network is there for you. So, I hope that gives you a bit of an overview of some of the things that you can do to build long-term relationships for your success and profitability, of course, as well. But there's more exciting shows coming up. Tina Ogbuga from Nigeria comes straight after this in the next 2 minutes. And then Artie Moore straight after that, and Sadiqa Kebi straight after that again from South Africa and Lebanon, so international. Now, you can connect with me at the IBGR.network or my www.Key Leadership Institute and also on my www.jrspeakersclub.com. It is time. You've been listening to Jan Roberts and you've been watching me as well. Remember, join us at this time next week, and always remember, you are awesome.